Test. How you guys doing today? 1 2 1 2 1 2. Let me know in the chat, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, how it sounds, and then we'll get going. Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a very interesting week. Got a lot to cover. Had some stuff that went well, had some stuff that went wrong. We're going to cover it all this week in the stream. If it sounds good, please let me know. Before we get started, though, the stream is intended to be used for educational purposes only. It's not intended to be used as financial advice. You know me. If this looks like financial advice, you're actually wrong. This is clearly an art stream. It's your guy Runner here doing the weekly well watch, Rainbow Trends base. If you're curious any of the reasons why my charts are like, dude, links in all my chat stuff. It's rainbow-trends.com. Simple. We trade in color. You guys have heard it a million times. We don't trade in black and white. We open this stuff up and we chase a lot of what these whales do. And you go research it all there. So we'll get going. So another thing, I'm still building out the Rainbow Trends Wikipedia page. There's just too much documentation and stuff that we're building out to put on the website regularly. So I'm building it out on a separate documentation page. And we're actually getting some of the tool tutorials up here slowly but surely with videos as well. Of everything, but it explains all the serious back end, everything you could ever ask, because there's always a million questions. But I'll drop that in the chat. It's live, it's just not published on the website yet. It allows me to keep working on everything, so that's posted up and posted on Twitter. Twitter's a little weird with the group chat. I have to do it separately, so my apologies for the little lags there. Another thing, if you didn't know, you can still get 10% off. So if you use our Kraken affiliate program, very excited to keep working with them. And if you guys are curious why I keep playing the same music, we do have a Rainbow Theory guy with us. He's in a kick-ass band, and I don't monetize any of my streams, so I intentionally get copyright stricken and use their music. So show them some more Body of Light. I really dig their stuff. But moving on, life updates. Big life updates. So, been pretty wild few months lately, and a lot of good stuff happened, a lot of bad stuff happened, a lot of personal stuff happened. I don't like bringing too much of the personal stuff out, but long story short, Dad got diagnosed with cancer, had his prostate removed, and got through all that. And so far, the results are coming back negative on a lot of the stuff that we're chasing down. So we got good news coming, and it's looking pretty bright. So I'm very excited to see that. And we're starting to get back into the routines of really getting back into the surf fishing and the beaches and stuff like that, which was a part of my life for a long time that I've had to kind of back off on with having a family and COVID and a lot of the oil field industry stuff. So we're getting back, getting him healthy. And if I owe you a return call or a message, that's mainly been the reason why I haven't been super available. I've been kind of mentally checked out, but we've gotten over the worst hurdle parts. So thank you for everyone who's supported along the way. It means a lot. But if you can see here, I haven't GoPro'd fishing in a very long time, and I actually got a pretty cool little video playing with the newer GoPros. My dad has some of the newer ones, and I think it's about time because my oldest GoPro is a GoPro 4, or my newest one, and I think they're up to 13 now. And from what I can tell, I think I'm actually going to be going with the Osmo Action 4 made by DJI, simply because it does better at night, and that's always one of the biggest problems we have with fishing. Shark fishing is the majority of the stuff we catch is at night, and we can't capture much in the darkness with the GoPro. So I think I'm going to go this way, and they're pretty cheap right now. They're only like $250. So. Anyway, what's up, RMF? What's up, Jared? What is up, my guys? So, the big reveal you guys have known for a very long time. I have always been a huge fan of Doppel and promoted him to a lot of you other guys because I've always been a huge fan myself. I'm very big in promoting my bros, my friends, my OGs, even people that don't like me. If I'm a big fan of them, I'm going to definitely let them take the spotlight. Doppel's been out a little bit. He's out busy being a dad, and congrats and good luck making it through that first year, because that first year is rough on dads, taking care of mama and taking care of the new baby, but everything's looking like it's good for them. But one of the things that's always been very fun for me is Doppel always tends to go on these hiatuses, and I always try to lure him out. Mainly because I like talking to him and talking with him, and the other part of it is funny is knowing he's on a hiatus and you try to lure him out. So one of the things I've always tried to come up with is a type of Doppel bait. And Doppel posted this back in August 6th, that apparently Janet Yellen trading cards existed. And I thought to myself, wouldn't this be the dumbest thing ever to actually try to buy one and see if I can get it? And lo and behold, I got one. So then the next dumb idea was, if it's a registered trading card that's like a real thing, can you PSA grade it? And truth be told, you can. I found out it's taken me 3 months, and I am proud to report that we are officially in price discovery territory. I have sourced the Janet Yellen card, and I have run it through the PSA services. They had to do some research because they've never graded one of these before. So I have a grail. One of one, never been done before, Janet Yellen card. And people have been asking me, oh my God, you actually did it. What was it graded at? All these different things. And unfortunately, these numbers don't go to 11. And I've never done this before. But the big reveal, I'm proud to present, we got a number 8. We got an 8 out of 10. And as it stands right now, this is the highest graded Janet Yellen trading card in existence. And before you ask, it is not for sale. We will figure out what we can do, use this as a Doppel bait later on in life. But as of right now, I'm holding on to this, and we are clearly in price discovery. I've tagged Janet Yellen a few times with no responses, but I think she's seen it. And lo and behold, I am proud to admit we did it. And there's now a record of a graded Janet Yellen card. So near mint or whatever these numbers are, I don't know. But it's a level 8. I'm very excited. And I'm actually somewhat tempted to try to get a few of these and try to get a 10. But my God, was it a pain to do a PSA card setup. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're not mistaking this stream for financial advice. We are here to get down to the bottom of all things that make no sense. But to be said, this is our grail, or my grail, and we'll see where it goes. I'm very interested to see what the offers are. But as I said, this stuff is not for sale. Give me 1 second. Got to tell the kids goodnight. Anyway, moving on. We're here. We're looking at charts. Bitcoin did its thing. And long story short, we've covered this a bunch of time, guys. This has been one of the most fantastic and craziest trading ranges we've ever seen. Whereas I say that, it doesn't match anything. I'm actually really, really excited to see what people post like next year to show you how obvious this was something on some schematic that they kept to themselves and just now want to share it. You know how that story goes. Hindsight TA champs. It's got Wyckoff stuff in it. It's got Rainbow Theory stuff in it. It's got a lot of different stuff in it. We've been covering it this whole time. It's 2 Wyckoff Creek jumps and a capitulation catch off the yin carry trade. And now it just keeps recovering. But it's been grinding since March of this year. We are really in it. Really, really in it. And a lot of people are freaking out because this has been one emotional SOB. Ethereum's been a hot mess. And things have all been happening. With that being said, we have hit the second order block. And you see here, these are my 3 check marks to get us to a new all-time high. We get through all 3 of these, we go into price discovery, we go into start talking about targets of all-time high, bull run, but we're not there. And the problem is this is not a normal order block. This is the king. That's not the king, in my opinion. The king is the second to last one. The reason why, it goes back to 2021. We are interacting with the pivots all the way back from the previous all-time highs back here. It's this one, back from 2021. So these peaks we had here in 2021, they printed a little higher, lower, depending on which exchange you are. But that peak right there, draw it all the way across, that's what this order block is. And we have a hell of a time getting through it. With that being said, this is a higher high, right? Like, it's a thing. We didn't keep grinding lower. And in my opinion, after the yen carry trade blowout, once it reverted back up, that was really the time for the bears to take it. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on this, but this was nasty, and I think they could have kept running with it, and that would have taken you to the lower targets. That would have taken into the Zoran zone. But we didn't get there. We've recovered, and we've been grinding. But this thing has been a monster. My last short-term entry was on this capitulation trade, and I bailed on those whale prints right there. And then I've gone and chased other things since then. Until this gives me a really, really nice entry. I don't like trading Bitcoin in the middle of a range. And that's where it is right now. And frankly, right now, it rolled over right here at the top going into the 2021 order block. And I hate seeing that. And that's why you guys started seeing me post this fractal, because this looks an awfully lot like July. And a lot of people longed here. These whale prints formed, and she nuked all the way back down, albeit that was the yen carry trade blowing up, but it still took us down. We started rotating colors. We got a top signal on the H4, HMA cross, and we got a whale print to show up. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell people, like, hey, I'm a bull. I'm bullish, but this is bad. We want to see continuation, and that's not a continuation sign seeing rollover. So I said, I think we're going to start pulling back down. And it's just a matter of finding, where is the support? Is it here? Is it here? Is it here? Is it hidden somewhere outside of these levels of the algorithms? I don't know. But the first one that was online was the 65K order block, which you can see has 3 pivots stacked in it, and we wicked it. We only wicked it for a slight bit. This is the H4, so that's, you got a few hours to hit that, but we bounced all the way back up, so 6% range. Not a huge range, but it's pop. And now it's coiling over again. I'm not going to be messing with this, especially with a lot of the trading fees. You want to trade it on maybe the ETFs is going to allow you to grind that. I don't really want to mess with that personally. I'm going to wait till it makes a decision, and by the time we get to here, we can hit 73s. I want to see stuff above this. Multiple candles closing, not just a few and a rollover. I want to see candles, candles, and effing liftoff. That's what we want to see. Is that what we're going to see? I don't know. We are in the dead freaking middle fighting the king of the order blocks. Until bulls take this thing out, I'm not happy. And we're also getting close to an election. So make up what you want. Call whoever. I don't know. I'm curious what you guys think. The easy trades of buying capitulation, we've done that, and now it's up in the range and kind of grinding. So we got to see what it does, where it goes, but that's where we're at. So anyway, if you guys are new here, please click the like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment, leave a dislike. Really, really helps with the algorithms, believe it or not. So that's where we're at here, and we can't ignore. So there's people been DMing me and asking me stuff. What am I looking at? What am I looking at, Runner? What are you looking at? There's a lot of things that have stood out this week that we haven't seen in a while. And I want to walk you guys through them one by one. In particular, and I'm going to go through them each level, and I'm going to tell you my take on it. Because some of this stuff, I'm watching it, but I don't understand how to interpret it yet. But it's on my radar, and it's on a lot of other people's radars that I trust. So I want you guys to be prepared and take a look at it and see what you think. The stuff is out there. It's out and out. It's an outlier. Welcome to the Real Pro Stream. As I mix all my words up, it's a real outlier. It's sticking out in the data like a sore thumb, and we need to take a look at it. And I'm doing a late We Are Live tweet. So, ETF flows. ETF flows have been hit or miss. We've watched a bunch of shenanigans. We've even seen people start FOMOing back into Grayscale GBTC at the highest interest rate, which makes no damn sense. What's up, Stiff Jello? But this is what I want to focus on. BlackRock keeps rolling in hard, and a lot of people are trading Bitcoin through the ETFs. It's a feeless environment, roughly, like compared to market fees like Coinbase, Kraken, all that type of stuff. Although shout out Kraken because your fees are amazing. I'll say this: there's some tipping point eventually where this doesn't work anymore. As far as like price just going sideways for 10 months, while BlackRock just keeps consuming Bitcoin. There's a tipping point to where it just can't be sustained anymore, and price has to go up, or something is fraudulently wrong in the math, because you can't just keep having buyers and then price just stays sideways. That's just not a thing, because they're outrunning the miners. So it's people selling out of their pockets to sustain these flows, and these are not small flows. October 14th, we had $500 million. Like that's not small change. So keep that in mind, and we're going to keep an eye on it. So this is something that's an outlier that you guys need to watch. In the past, just straight up buying hasn't really resulted in a lot. We've actually seen down draws after this, but overall, they're accumulating. This is a lot of consumed Bitcoin. A lot. Grayscale's bled out, and now we're starting to see Grayscale actually go up, which is just wild to think. We're also seeing liquidity levels repeated and tagged and then pulled back. This is the Coinbase Trading Light chart. Shout out Trading Light. I really like their product. You guys have got to stop with this little squishy thing. But you guys talk about like liquidity theory, whale theory, everything. It's all here, and these are the actual open orders that they can see in the books, and you can clearly see where liquidity is hit, and then it pulls back, and then the whales go to the next one. They didn't fully take that one on Coinbase, but they hit it on Binance. And then on the flip side, you can see where they come down and hunt back down here. So you're going to see the rainbow trend stuff show you where the automated pivots are, where it's going to tell you, it's estimating the support and resistance are, as well as like the liquidation levels. And then you can actually kind of see the non-hidden whale orders here that they're willing to leave open-ended on an open limit order. And that's what these are. But you can see them wick, and then wick back down. So they're grinding through this, but we have got a martingale here all the way up to like 75K, all-time highs. And then it actually goes up to like 100K. Yeah, they've stacked orders at 100K just below it. So we got a lot of stuff to grind through. And it's not that it's bearish. It's just that the bears are not going to get a free lunch. They have to work really, really hard for this. And they're not working when they roll over colors. We want to see explosions. We want to see crazy pump, send. And we're not seeing that right now. So it's not that I think we're just going to go all the way down here, but I'm definitely saying is, hey, this is weakening. You have to start protecting your butt. Move your stops up. Take some profits if you want, or just be prepared to mentally handle that if it capitulates on some wild reason. We never know. But regardless, we have to find support, whether that's here, or wherever. Eventually, there will be support in which the trend macro goes up from there. Right now, I think we're just grinding through this stuff and chopping. You've seen how many times that we've hit a level, come down a level, down, up, down, da-da-da-da-da. It bang. It's like a ping pong ball. It's what it does. They're fighting, they're churning, and they've been churning you guys up and everyone else for over 10 months. Or 7 months, whatever. It's bad. It's mentally anguishing, and it's challenging. But welcome to the real world. The odds are stacked against you, and that's why I refuse to trade like in black and white. So anyway, moving on. The other thing that is standing out, so we have the ETF flows, we have the rainbow theory stuff showing you where the support resistance are, stuff rolling over. Another thing that's been a big deal is the Coinbase discount. The Coinbase discount. So up on the right hand side here, you can see like this is a list of major exchanges, and you can see right now, there's a big difference, not a huge difference, but there is a difference between the Bitcoin price that's on Binance on spot and the Bitcoin price of Coinbase on spot. And that's what this little isolator, this is what this little oscillator does here. And in the past, let me go to a cleaner chart here. If you guys have any questions, please stop me at any point. I queue up decks for these, and then I just roll through them while jamming to music. So if you think there's a script, you're wrong. But the way this works, it shows you when there is a price difference between Binance and Coinbase. So when there's Coinbase at a premium, it's up here. When there's a premium on Binance, it's down here. So traditionally, or not traditionally, what we've been seeing the past few months, numbers have been going up on Coinbase premiums, right? And then we've had kind of bleed offs on Binance premiums, which means Coinbase is selling harder than Binance. So that's why Coinbase is that's why it shows it this way. So this is Coinbase buying more, and then this is Coinbase selling more, and that's why it goes down. Right now, we've been going up, while Coinbase has been heavy selling. And it's inverse from what we've seen in the previous trends. So I'm not 100% sure what to make of this yet, but it's damn sure outlying. Very big differences. Right here, it actually hit $100 and sustained it, difference between the books. Now, if you're a low fee arbitrage nut, that's free money. I wish I had those fee tiers on Binance and Coinbase. Shout out Brian Armstrong. If you want to hook a dude up with some lower tier fees, please let me do. But in all seriousness, something's going on here, and it's starting to level out. So these were this was the yen capitulation. Like, we only got to like $82 difference here. Before that, the big major bounce, it was down to like 140. When I say 140, I'm referring to like 140 like dollars. This is going down as well, but it's starting to like balance out. So I don't have all the answers to this. I just know how to look at this, and that's something I'm watching on, because this is a pretty sustained difference. And a lot of people are talking about it that I highly respect. Not to name names, but big chunk there, little chunk there. Now we've gotten into a really big chunk, and prices moving up during a big yellow trend, which has not been something we've seen basically this year in 2024. So we have to keep an eye on that. And then I wanted to do a quick little tutorial. If I never really show how to code stuff, so I kind of wanted to show you guys how to code this, because this is a really cool tool, and you can do it really quickly and easily, and it's a good like footstool into PineScript and making your own tools, because that's what I did. I just got frustrated when I realized the majority of the stuff out there isn't real. So if you are on an indicator page of TradingView, you can open up. So we're on the Binance page, or not Binance. We're on the Bitcoin just chart. Doesn't matter. This is what it default looks like when you do a new indicator, when you want to make this. So this is just showing. This is just saying every time you see a dash, that just means it's not red. You can type whatever you want here. You can go Wu-Tang Clan. Won't matter. Won't affect the code. You can add it to your chart. So we're going to add it to the chart and see if it actually pops up, because it should. There it is. My script. Right? So we have a chart here that's just plotting the close price. That's all this is. So that's literally the price up here minus candles. It's showing you it as a line. So if you wanted to make an indicator and say, hey, I want to know the difference between the price of like Kraken or Binance versus Coinbase, you can do that really easy. And I wanted to show you guys how. So we are going to get rid of the plot, and we are going to call this thing Rainbow Trends Bitcoin Premium Demo Tool. Maybe you can do this stuff like really easy, but I can't. So oh yeah, so it's saying we don't have a function yet. So if I got rid of this and just went back to plotting, it'll show you that we now have it called right here. So that's how you do the indicator title, RT Premium Demo Tool. Like I said up here, these are the comments and stuff. You just don't need to worry about it, but you can, it's saying copyright, Rainbow Runner, Wu-Tang Clan, whatever. Being a little silly there. So let's do it. We want to find a variable. We'll call it premium equals request security. So in normal situations, when you write an indicator, it's assuming you're looking at this time frame to whatever the time frame of your chart is and whatever the coin is you're charting. But if we're trying to compare Kraken to Coinbase, we want to be able to, or Binance to Coinbase, we want to be able to call out specifically that exchange and that ticker. So to call out that ticker, we say request security. We then tell PineScript to look at Coinbase, look at their data for BTC USD. That's what we do. And then we tell it what time frame. So you can tell, like, you can force it to look at daily time frames. You can look at it, do all that other stuff. I personally don't like doing multi-time frame inside PineScript because it gives you a lot of repaint errors. So I do time frame dot period, and we're going to be looking for which value of Bitcoin on Coinbase. We want to be looking at the close. So that gives me the Coinbase price of Bitcoin on whatever time frame I'm looking at here. So I could even go to the Ethereum chart. This will now do an indicator based, or do data based off Binance or Coinbase's prices of Bitcoin. So now we want to know the difference between the two, which would be the premium, right? So now we would do minus, subtract, request, security. And now we want to look at Binance, not Coinbase. Binance, BTC USDT. Now, if you wanted to do the perpetuals, you would do .p. But we're looking at spot because I like spot data more. Time frame, period, same stuff. Let me pull the caps off. Period, close. And let's see if that compiles. It's probably, yeah, it will. So it compiles and it's at least telling me that this code looks good, even though my original plot is still there, not showing what I'm looking at. So now I want to plot premium. And we want to get rid of that one. So we're going to plot our premium, right? And we're going to tell it that, well, let's just do it this way. Let's see what it does, because I want to type out the rest of it. But so that's telling you that's your premium right there. That's your raw data of Coinbase versus Binance. But that's not as nice looking as what we looked at before. So we can tell it color is equal to premium greater than or equal to 0 question. And what this means is it says color, and then it puts it into a condition. So it's asking, it says, hey, if premium is greater than 0, if that's true, we want to make the color blue. And if it's not true, i.e. it's negative, we want to say the color is yellow. And let's do that real quick, and then I'll show you how you can change the style. So there you go. See how anything above 0, and I'll draw a horizontal line here. You can change this to 0 exactly. Anytime it has data below 0, it does it yellow, and that means Binance is more expensive because Binance has to be greater than Coinbase to make it negative. And you're like, maybe drawing a line's not for me. That's fine. You can do comma, style is equal to plot, style, and you can do call out columns, and it'll look more like how like a volume tool looks. And you can do update. Bam. There you go. And that's how you do that. If you want to flip it, you can switch these around. You want to change the colors. That just kind of gives you an idea of how this stuff works. So that is how you can make a 3-line tool for for PineScript. And that's how you can literally see the difference between Coinbase and Binance. Go back to yellow because it looks better. So there you go. There is a tool that you can build on your own. Call it whatever you want. You can mess with it you want. You can do gradients. You can do whatever else you want to. But that's the basis of how you do it. And that's how you request the data outside of this chart. You use the request security function. Now, if you use bots and stuff based off this, just be careful because this can repaint, especially when you're looking at two different exchanges. But moving on. Ethereum, on the flip side, is something else I'm watching, and it is not getting much volume at all. And if you know me and you hang out in the awesome Rainbow Trends Discord, I'm very biased because I'm a big fan of those people that are in there. I was long this position on Ethereum. We had support here, and I longed around. I think I longed around here. I don't remember exactly where. I got up pretty decently, and then price rolled over. And the main reason I sold wasn't because of the Ethereum chart. I was mainly watching the Coinbase chart. We had a very, very nice Coinbase trade set up, and Coinbase rolled over, and it had confluence with Ethereum and Bitcoin, and I sold. I think on paper it was like 2 or 3%, and then fees just killed it. So I got a free sandwich. Essentially, it wasn't much. But albeit sandwiches are kind of expensive nowadays. But anyway, up, down, rode it, lost, and I cut like right here or something, and then it went to hell. And now it's finding support. But one of the things I've noticed is, hey, as much as I love this setup, Ethereum is doing anything but counterpump the major trends. And right now the trends are down. And with the trends down, I'm not going to just FOMO long that once we've had the other stuff going on. So that gives you confluence there. And I'm going to have to go a chart forward. This was the other reason I bailed. Bitcoin was hitting resistance here, right? Remember? And you have to remember or be cognizant of or be aware of that the Coinbase chart is not the Bitcoin chart, but they definitely are interconnected. So there are times where Bitcoin will hit resistance and it will prevent Coinbase from moving up. On the flip side, there are times where Coinbase will hit resistance and it will stop Bitcoin trends, in my opinion. Mind you, this is not financial advice and this is a free stream. But Coinbase, let me walk you through this one because I've had 2 trades back to back on this that went really, really well. And I want to show you like how Rainbow Theory was used for this. So the first one was this capitulation paint, and I scalped this one along with a lot of the other Rainbow Trends Discord users, traders. We longed this, sold around here just in case it was a continuation of downward. I didn't fully understand the yen carry trade, so I was a bit more nervous about it. But I know paint when I see it, and this on lower time frames was beautiful. It gapped down, blew out RSI, blew out the colors, went into reversion bands, and we bought the pump, and it pumped up. The second one is a second leg down that printed lower on hotter RSI. You can see RSI get bled all the way to pink and then reverse, and the bottom was freaking in. Absolutely beautiful rainbow setup, and on something you normally don't see prints that nasty on, we got it on Coinbase. And it proceeded to pump twice, all the way up to the reversion bands. And you guys know me, when I long this side of the reversion bands deep in the paint, I always consider this band the home run. If I can touch that band, that's the dream trade. Now, I didn't get an entry down here. That would have made this a ridiculous trade. I longed the support of the retesting of the pivots. I think I longed like here. I forgot what the exact number was, but I ended up getting 25% out of the trade. So I wanted to walk through because this one was like textbook. This gives you a rainbow bottom off RSI. We have the runner bot printing a bottom as well. We have an HMA cross. That's multi confluence inside the reversion bands with white candles, color rotations. It's like every single thing I've got to tell you that the bottom is in on something, regardless of like news. It's telling you rainbow theory wise, that's a bottom. Wake up. And it popped up. I waited to see some support. We came back down. We almost tagged that pivot. We came down and I got my entry. Actually, that is where I did it, right there. I longed that pivot and I put a BS stop loss somewhere down here. I don't remember. It proceeded to have whale prints come rolling in. And it went all the way up and tagged the other side of that band. I really thought Bitcoin was looking really strong when we were here. And I thought we were going to get a continuation up into this band, the final order block, but we didn't get there. So I saw Binance start to roll over. I realized I kind of hit my home run here. I don't need to be greedy, and I cut when the color started rotating. So I was a little slow to cut, but I got out right before, like a half a day before it completely pulled back pretty hard. So calling it a win, I think I got like 8 or 10% here, and this one was like 25%. So not clout chasing, just showing you this is the example of like how this crazy stuff actually works. We long support. These are like, we often call these like the manifesto sweeps. He likes to see a test, a blowout below the test, that come up and then retest the old support, and that's exactly what happened here, and then it popped. He does it on lower time frames, but it also shows up on the higher time frames too. So shout out Manifesto. And now I'm just gonna wait. I got a 25% trade in the TradeFi market on spot. I'm very happy with that, and I'm just gonna chill. I don't need to FOMO this anymore. I need to wait for a nice, easy setup. This is not gonna be easy because I'm at such a high altitude. This could easily come back down. I don't want it to, and I don't think it will, but at the same time, we gotta just chill. Armstrong was like messaging AI bots this week, so I don't know. We'll see. Good luck to my buddies who are in applying for the job over there, because they would help with that type of communication. Anyway, another one that went really good this week was Ape. I can't begin to tell you why Ape pumped. I don't know. What I do know is it completely blew out, and we actually saw in the middle of nowhere a pinks and cyan setup. Anytime you see pinks and cyan, we start adding Pixa in the Discord. Pixa shorts the bejesus out of these, and he does crazy well, and he does it with high leverage once he starts getting into profit, and he does these insane P&L charts in the Discord of these setups he does. This was a textbook, whatchamacallit, give me a second, I gotta switch something on the screen. Rainbow setup. And what this is a complete pump and dump by the whales, and by the time most people mess with these, it's too late. And it's really important to see the split volume tool here. Before this chart, there's like nothing. There's just grinding, very, very little PA. And then out of nowhere, ka-frickin' boom. All of a sudden, Ape goes Ape. And it blows out. It blows through my normal reversion bands, and it actually gets into the machine learning side of the bands, and it starts printing. These are white RSIs. These are sustained pink candles on the H1. It's pretty ridiculous. And all I know, when you see blowouts like this, it's either the beginning of the trend, or when they're this violent, it's going to bleed out and retest because it left too many people in the dust. But what we actually saw, and what's normally the norm, really, really good for words today. We pumped out, we hit pinks and cyans. That's the typical top call. And it's where a lot of my rainbow traders who do perpetual futures lock in their shorts. And what we got, these are a lot like BART trades, except they're more violent because these don't have time to form a hairline. They're so violent, they go straight back down. So what happens is I call this a bleed to green setup. This is a complete eruption of volume. Like, I can't even get the other candles to really show up here. This is an earthquake of volume on an altcoin, right? It pumped up. It blew out some of the liquidity that we had on liquidation levels. If you actually filter some of the liquidation levels, because this was so violent. Pink candles rolled over, hit the cyan bands. The cyan bands were like, oh my God, this is beyond the strongest thing we've ever seen. They actually started increasing their gains and are learning from it naturally as we speak. We have the top signal here, RSI top with that rolling over, color rotations, then we have the HMA coming through and karate chopping through it. I've got every top signal in the book with Rainbow Theory saying this is out, and then it proceeded to retrace. From the move up, it was 131%. You likely weren't going to be able to catch that. Maybe you could, maybe you can't. I don't long pinks typically because they retrace, because that's just kind of the rules of how this stuff goes. But so far, it's bled out 30%, and a lot of people got some shorts in on this. And then what I wanted to show you is the way whale theory works. Whales were long here. They manipulated it up to here, and they were out of the building by there. What does that mean? They FOMO'd people into this long all the way up to here, and they were able to take profits before this down draw. They basically bait everyone into a FOMO long, and then they get eaten alive. So this is why I'm such a believer in split volume. You can see all these crazy buys where they're pumping it, but at the same time, you can see these sells. They're selling into this massively while the rest of retail is buying. So while the retail's FOMOing in, the whales are exiting. And by the time you get to here, the whales aren't even in the same building anymore. They're out of the position. They're not holding this anymore. And then you get to see retail figure out, oh my God, it's not pumping anymore, and then retail has to start taking L's. All the people that are selling on this backside are taking major losses, 10, 20, 30%. God help you if you leverage long that. But that's why we don't leverage long pinks. We look for the reversals because that's what happens. And this is people capitulating and selling their ape. Now, it may come in and form a flat, and they may pump it again. That's totally a thing. But when you get this set up, this is what happens, and this is how whales manipulate the markets. And this is the wild, wild west. This is crypto on an altcoin. Like, you are vulnerable, and it's part of it. And it's just, the only thing you can do is educate yourself. These are like low time frame barks, but they're more violent, and these can eat your lunch. But a lot of the Rainbow Theory traders build short positions in here and then leverage it as it goes down, and they do really, really well. And this is why I call these bleed to green. The whales fully exit right around here. So I draw that perfectly around here, and then the market just bleeds. You can go study the old SHIB charts. It's the same thing. Gigantic pumps until they finally die off, and they literally bleed out for like 80%. Now, I'm not saying this is going to go all the way back, but it might, and this just people are going to be taking major L's, because if they round trip the entire height, you're talking about a 56% retrace, and you don't want to be hanging around for that regardless. So just be careful. So that's Coinbase walkthrough. That's Ape walkthrough. Those went by textbook. I showed you Ethereum. It's not counter trading. Ethereum flows are garbage. I showed you how to code that, as well as watch the difference here. The other thing you can do too, if you don't want to code that or look at an indicator, you could just make a BTC trading chart here in TradingView, and you can list them all, and you can just sort the prices. The blue one I have is Coinbase, and that one's Binance, and you can see right now they're like $40 difference, which is indicated there. So like the premium's dying off. So that's another way to look at it, and that's how I used to catch say blowouts back in the day when Coinbase would blow out, and you could get like a 20-30% ARB off of it one way. Anyway, that's Ethereum. And then Stiff Jello wants to know, are you looking at Zcash anymore? I could show you that. On that last camping trip I did, hold on, that's not my normal chart. Give me a second. Let me at least get the reversion bands on there. I'm not really looking at Zcash anymore. I got back in the mix. I started DCing into it here in this range, held it through that support, and I sold up here. And the reason I sold, pink candles and a green top, that's the home run for me. Now, Zcash halvening, don't quote me on this at all, but I think it's like a week or 2 weeks away. It's within 20 days or something like that. We've seen halvenings before, and frankly, this is starting to look like a Bart Simpson, just like this one, the Bart Simpson retrace. I got a really nice trade out of this, messing with Zcash. I got over 20% on spot. I'm done with it right now. I only mess with Zcash when it's like on bottoming paint, and it's got to at least come at least come down to that pivot, but I'd be looking more for these, and especially if I can get closer to this reversion bands. So I swing trade it on higher time frames, and I wait for those setups on Zcash. That's how I do it. Now, another thing, thank you for the questions, SJ, on Twitch. Another thing, another one that's starting to show up as a trend, and it's real, is Solana. You guys know me. I don't really like Solana, and that's because I don't like Alameda, and Alameda was involved with it. With that being said, it's costing me money to have that opinion, and that's fine. I'm willing to accept it. I'm fine. I literally had Malifestro and Doppel like yelling at me to buy it below $20 before this run, and then it went up to $200, right? The Rainbow Traders like literally freaking long these down here at $13 and rode it all the way up. That being said, I am not super interested in Solana until we break this all-time high. And the reason I say that, when Solana runs, it runs like a freaking monster, and it can just pump and go. Well, I can tell you this, Solana degens will wake the F up if they get it above an all-time high, and that's what I would expect it to do. How high it goes, I have no idea. All I know is you get above that pivot of 211, it gets real. And it gets real fast. You're going to start seeing everything go crazy. Which, I think if you get above that, I think you're going to have Bitcoin go with it, personally. Or Bitcoin leads it and drags this up through. With that being said, this has been a crazy chop range that I have not wanted to deal with. As much as an amazing as this has been, this was literally a 1,500% run to that range. 1,500, right? The thing you have to realize is these peaks and troughs for Solana are 50% moves. So if you FOMO into Solana at the wrong time, you can watch your butt have to clinch up and deal with a 12% pullback or a 50% pullback, right? With that being said, I can't be any clearer how cheating Rainbow Trends algos are, because it's just, there's your resistance, there's your support, like there's no in between. That's it, right? With that being said, this pump looks awesome. It's been awesome. But do not loosely long this and not be in position. There's some dudes who did really well sweeping these lows, and they've come up. Not to name names, but you know who does really well with Solana in the group. They may or may not be a samurai. PFP, but I will say this. I want to see it go higher. I want to see this blow the doors off. I want to see this. I do. I'm a bull. I'm a rainbow bull in my non-real life. All these things, right? But check yourself. If this thing starts rolling over at the top of this range, it has rolled over once, twice, 3 times. And every single time, it's like a 40% down draw. So Solana is all over the timeline right now on Twitter. It is. And I don't want people to get baited into this and it come back down. And we have to end up longing in December or something like that for Christmas. So, is it a bullish take? Is it a bearish take? It's a take that I'm telling you what the colors are showing me, and that's just all it is. The HMA has not crossed it yet. We haven't printed a top. We haven't. What I'm saying is it's approaching territories that Solana typically does not punch through. And the bulls, to punch through this, it's not easy mode. That is hard mode. Momentum is not like this right now, straight up. Momentum is sideways for 8 months, 7 months. That's where we're at. So bulls really have to show up, and you want to see like this type of volume printing over here to punch through that damn thing. And if it does, it becomes super easy season. You'll see me start posting bullish EOS charts. You'll see Pixa pick up a microphone. You'll see some wild stuff. Like maybe Dime will get a third cat. I don't know. But like you'll see people start winning. BitBoy may get his Lambo back. Ferrari, whatever. Anson may win a fight. I don't know. But the point is things get really easy and stupid above 211. We're not there yet, and you're playing with Solana at this range, which has altitude to pull back 40%. So I like it. I'm rooting for it. It's just you got to be cognizant of this. You just have to. It's bad not to. So we're at 8:50. I am running late. I'm going to keep going. The coding chat took a lot longer than expected. Thank you guys for hanging around. Moving on. This is kind of echoing what I'm saying here. Easy mode. Posting bullish EOS charts. Maybe I'll get a Bcash long if Solana rips, right? Moon Overlord says, honestly, and I'm being real here yet, we're not in a real bull market yet. And you see Murad doing his thing. Posting Popcat, Giga, all these things that have done year to date, absolutely mental numbers. And they're true, they have. And one of the ones that we've been trading for a long time is Popcat. And Popcat printed a new all-time high this week. I personally don't trade this thing. I bought a bag a long time ago because Aslan was aware of the meme and Doppel wouldn't stop talking about a meme. And I said, if I've got Confluence there with my bros, I'm going to throw a bag at it. And I think we bought it at like 7 cents or something. It's 2015. I don't know. 12 cents. I don't know. It's way up. And it was just some small money, but it went crazy. I don't know where this goes. Murad's doing his thing. And it's kind of interesting because I was aware of Murad. He followed me a long time ago. And we've had a few casual DMs here and there, and then he blew up. And I got really upset because some people started coming out and like posting like the whole thread about, oh my God, he bought all these meme coins. This dude lives that life. He's been about meme coins, bought his bags, and then told you like what he was interested in. I can assure you, I'm not in Popcat for the tech. I'm in it for all the wrong reasons, and I plan on selling it. And like the dude is legit. Like I haven't seen a single thing that's come out as scammy or shilly, and I hate that negative press came out of it on him. And I'm rooting for my dude because I have respect for somebody who can withstand that and stand behind something, a theory, put your own skin in the game, and then you own it from there. And that's my take on that. What's up, Italiano on YouTube? Thank you for the comment. That's very nice of you. So with that being said, I'm a big supporter of Murad. The dude's talking Popcat. It's great. All these other memes. I'm not a meme dude, but maybe I'm going to start paying a little more attention to those. But one of the things I wanted to point out in the Discord, make sure you're listening to the listing bot, and you'll notice that some of these meme coins are getting listed on Binance, and it's kind of a big deal. GOAT got listed today, so make sure you're checking out on those, and please utilize these. These cost a very, very large sum of money, and I have them open up for free. So anyway, I saw this on Twitter. Please quit changing the names, Elon. And I just thought it was awesome because I always dreamed of putting a decommissioned server rack in my room, even though I don't have any like legit servers like that. I only have some like workstations, but it's got a shark. It's got rainbow colors in the room. It's got a Linux running on an iMac, all this other stuff. I think it's freaking awesome for all the wrong reasons. I tried to show Doppel. Doppel counter-argued me like it's pointless, and I said it's pointless in the best way ever, Dopp. Please appreciate the fact that we can run server racks in our rooms, and I need to do this and stack all my ThinkPads in it. So anyway, moving on a little bit into traditional finance with the last 7 minutes we have here. If you guys don't know, if you're leaving early, we wrap up around 9 o'clock and we go into the Discord and open up to a round table, and it's open mic and open charts. So if you want to show your charts to me about Giga, Maga, Zcash, ask questions, want me to code something for you real quick, sure. In an SEC filing late this afternoon, Microsoft disclosed that assessment of investing in Bitcoin is currently proposed and will be voting for the shareholder meeting December 10th. Too long, didn't read, Runner, what's going on. Microsoft is about to make a decision if they want to start investing in Bitcoin with the company. This happened to Tesla right before the last bull run. It was a big, big, big deal. Microsoft right now tends to print money out of thin air. They do really, really well. And one of the biggest Fortune 500 companies in the world, one of the biggest tech sectors, is about to vote in a month and a half if they're going to start putting like Bitcoin on their balance sheet. this is a big deal. I honestly thought we were going to get multiple iterations of this last cycle, taking Michael Saylor's playbook, like Elon ran with the Michael Saylor playbook. If you go back and look at like my first YouTube video ever, I do a gigantic spiel about how, like, walking through of how those playbooks works and how I thought other companies were going to do it. Well, it looks like they're finally going to do it 5 years later, so that's fun. So good luck digging for that video because it is buried deep. But another thing, NVIDIA, all-time highs again. Broke out from this wedge. It's still pumping, and Nancy Pelosi is still long. So Pelosi longed it. I think it was hold on, where was it? July 30th. Yeah, she longed it around $104. She's the GOAT. It round tripped and she didn't sell. I was really curious if she was going to sell, and she didn't. And now it's up to $140. If you notice the other thing, she bought Microsoft too on the same day. So July 30th, she longed Microsoft and NVIDIA. So the greatest trader of all time, which is living and breathing right now, is long NVIDIA and Microsoft. And Microsoft is about to add Bitcoin on the balance sheet. S&P 500, I'm not really paying attention too much. It's doing its thing. It's all-time highs. It's doing great. Numbers look great. Macro looks great. The SEC cut. The reason I'm numb to it, if you may not know, there's an election in the United States in 11 days that's going to be very, 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 very volatile. I don't care what side of the street you're on. That's volatility in 12 days. And why is it extra volatility? It's because the people involved, and while this is 11 days away, guess what's 12 days away from that? FOMC rate cuts. So, not only did we get the election on November 5th, Jerome Powell's going to walk out on the 6th and tell you what the Fed rate cuts are going to be the day after the election, which we still may not know who's president the day Jerome walks out. Remember how long it took last time? Like, there was theories that Kanye actually won Arizona, and that's why it took him 5 days to count, that type of stuff. Yeah, this is volatility. Mark it on your charts. S&P 500 is going to react to that no matter what you say. I'm just gonna let it print and chill. I can sit on my hands. I'm cool with that. I'm fine, right? What's up, Sean? What's up, my guy? Glad to see you're still here with us, hanging out in a good mood. So it's 8:57. I'm gonna hop in the Rainbow Trends Discord. If you guys don't know the Discord link, I can pop it in the chat, but if you go to the Rainbow-Trends website, it's on the very top listed, but I will post this in the chat right now. And we're going to go hang in there for an hour or so with the OGs, see what they're up to, see what they're looking at. Or if everyone's bored, I'll fire up Rocket League, and you guys will have to watch me be rusty. So anyway, much appreciated. Thanks for coming out. Remember, please like, comment, subscribe, interact in some way. The algos judge that like a hawk. And thank you for hanging out with us an hour. We will be back next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. This video will be permanently backlogged or backed up on YouTube. So anyway, thanks again. Much love.